a name like Facebraker, you certainly ought to know what you're getting yourself into. EA's bone-crunching boxing title with its Saturday morning appeal certainly delivers on the promise of breaking faces. Rendering your fellow opponents into unrecognizable chunks of meat is undeniably gratifying, but is there some sweetness in this science? Facebraker's short list of modes isn't exactly paving the way for boxing games to follow. As a sports title, it offers everything you'd expect and nothing more. Fight mode, where you select a boxer and an arena to get busy in, is the quickest way to jump right into the action. Brawl for It All, Facebreaker's campaign, pits you against multiple opponents across 4 distinct circuits. Each win opens up the next challenge and awards you with a belt. There's also practice mode, where you can hone your skills, find weaknesses, and get to know the ins and outs of each boxer. And for all the party people, Couch Royale, with its heavy emphasis on group play, is the quickest way to end friendships. The cast of boxers runs the gamut of stereotypes. There's the goth Lolita, the explosion-happy ex-military goon, and the Rico Suave-esque romancer, just to name a few. As derivative as they may be, they never step over the line and become offensive, but they sure are obnoxious.
Crazy eye.
Win or lose, simply playing through the game in any mode unlocks new characters, alternate outfits, and arenas. It doesn't even matter if you win bouts. As long as you keep playing, you keep unlocking. While it certainly takes the pressure off, it offers little incentive to plow through the challenging circuits. And believe us, they're not easy. Attaining the full roster of pugilists in nearly every stage after just a dozen rounds ends up selling the game far too short. Facebreaker's most redeeming quality is its heavy emphasis on user-generated content. Creating your own slugger or downloading one from the community is a simple and effective way to add some personal flair to the game. You can even import images to plaster anyone's mug on one of the characters. It's disappointing then that the move list and fighting styles are all tied into the various body types. Even with high and low punches, a strong attack, and the ability to throw, Facebreaker quickly devolves into a slap-happy button masher. There are ways to dodge and ultimately parry your opponent, but far too often you'll find yourselves knee-deep in a fist storm while the relentless computer pummels you. Outside of mashing the buttons in retaliation, there's really little defense to their unpredictable attacks. Some of the less aggressive opponents take things a little slower, actually waiting for you to attack them before throwing a punch. Actively parrying and dodging is a viable tactic with these opponents. If you're lucky enough to string combos together, you'll build up your break meter, allowing you to launch devastating attacks like bone breakers and sky breakers. The higher the meter fills up, the stronger the attack. Build it all the way up, and you'll deliver a bout-ending Facebreaker. Each character has its own unique finisher, and most are worth working for, if only to see them once. The real issue here is the difficulty. Facebreaker might as well have one difficulty setting, since easy appears to imply devastatingly difficult. True, each boxer does have an Achilles heel, and exploiting their weakness pushes the odds in your favor. But even with that knowledge, you still need to find ways around their attacks and survive long enough to return the favor. There's simply no rhyme or reason to the difficulty. The single-player option ultimately becomes a chore to play. As a multiplayer game, it certainly fares better. Facebreaker's presentation is just as over-the-top as its gameplay. It tries to take a comical angle, but rarely hits the mark, playing on stereotypes with tired jokes.
Fighting is like love. Inevitably, someone ends up crying.
Faces swell and eyes go black to convincing effect, and you can definitely feel the power behind the body launching uppercuts. There's a lot going on in the arenas, but the rings are all standard issue and offer no gameplay opportunities other than pushing opponents off the ropes. Aesthetics aside, the game runs well on both the PS3 and Xbox 360, with vivid colors and smooth animation. We do question Facebreaker's split personality though. The cartoony look screams out to young kids, but then moaning ring girl takes it into Adult Swim territory. Facebreaker tries to revive the arcade boxing glory achieved by classics like Punch-Out, but with its punishing difficulty, minimal gameplay modes, and humor that falls on its face, it doesn't come close. Creating your own boxers can become addictive, and it's not a bad option for a casual party atmosphere, but for serious players, it lacks the depth to pick itself up off the mat.